Alper, I wanted to ask if you had a crystal ball and if you could gaze into your crystal ball, to think about what might be the tipping points that tip us into this a new world of where education is stored in a distributed ledger, where the trust we maintain with our organizations to provide education is actually now through technology. It took a global pandemic to shift us to hybrid, to remote working, to something that many people have been doing for a long, long time. But for this to become mainstream, it took a global pandemic. What do you think might be the tipping points that tip us and universities into this sort of blockchain-based distributed store of our learning?
Well, I think we've already crossed the tipping point with the pandemic. I'm very, very happy that I'm unfortunate, about that tipping point, despite my sadness of, lives and the health of many of us impacted with that. But at there's the brighter side of this pandemic has been, it forced us to change that should have happened much earlier. I think we will have societal changes and growing examples of seeing this kind of learning opportunities as we have seen in the past with different learning providers like Udemy's and Coursera. And to me, they are still the old school platforms, but how we've seen that change happening, with easy to access, affordable, high quality learning experiences. We will see that, on the way, and after a while, it will, we will see. I'm hoping that we will see with the job opportunities, with the flexibilities, the quality of life, embedded into these examples will encourage more and more people to move away from the traditional learning system. We talk about the great resignation today. So we are seeing people moving away from traditional as somehow oppressive work environments. And we will see the same, let's say, resignation from the traditional education system because educational system had another quality. One is the real estate. We talked about it. This is now gone. We don't need that. The second is the universities have been in the mobility business. So they were selling visas attached to diplomas. We have to face that. So you want to have a better life. You live in Bangalore, but you want to go to UK. And the best way toward this life is to get a UK university because it's bundled with a visa. In the future, we will not need that visa because we can work anywhere for a UK employer without leaving my hometown or my parents or my family, my friends, whatever. That is also going to be possible, and it will be um, it will be even much more impactful with changes like blockchain because I will be compensated in a much better way for the whatever the qualities and capabilities that I'm bringing with that. So that will happen with that resignation from another traditional system.
That's the other thing. The what this is doing, the global connection between everybody, whether it's for learning or work or so on, is also normalizing compensation, I think, around the world. And so that arbitrage between, low paid developing countries and so on, that's changing rapidly as people get paid and recompensated for the work they do.
Biggest, I think, the threat that I see in the world after the global security and climate change is the immigration. Because of these two dynamics, people are forced to leave their home countries, and that is creating a lot of social and economic instabilities in their countries and in the other countries, like from people from Africa to Europe or from Mexico to US.
I saw recently 25% of immigration is prompted by war and instability, but 75% is economic migration.
And even the wars are because of economic conditions. I mean, the wars do just because some people are not happy with their, yeah. So it is at least 75%, if not more. So if you can bring economic prosperity without having to move your hometown, move from out of your hometown, we see it already. Like you cannot get a Romanian developer to Netherlands because they can do what they do in Romania without leaving the country right now. And Romania is a wonderful place to live. It's much less costlier, and people just love to be there. And we'll see that. We'll see people working, still living in Kenya and doing work for, I don't know, UK, out of Kenya. And then, the UK employers maybe will pay a little bit less than UK salaries, but much more than Kenyan salaries. And it will bring economic prosperity to Kenya or Nigeria or Rwanda or in Nepal. We see that. I mean, one of our students, I'll tell you a story. One of our students in our first data science cohort, he got a job offer from an American company as a data scientist. And he would tell me when his mother learned the salary that he was getting, which was like a fraction of the salary that they would pay in Silicon Valley, she had cried. It was such a huge, big difference. Can you imagine this happening at a scale?
It's happening. It's happening already. I think already we see in India um, the shift in wages in in the call centers and that has gone one direction.
So my answer to your question, Paul, in my crystal ball, I'm an optimist, and I'm dreaming of a world where the education is affordable, it's for everyone, it's flexible, and people do not have to leave their countries just for work, leave their families just for work, and the prosperity is evenly distributed around the world with um, with all these limitations that we had in the past when we didn't have the technology and capabilities. So I want that, um, and also because of that concentration of the time and location where we are concentrated in the metropolitan cities, we will see also much more peaceful engagement with the planet, where we will have less detrimental human structures, human establishments, with all that flexibility. That's my dream.